I'm going to rank the major benefits of a federal government job from least valuable to most valuable. Number 7 is insurance, health, dental, and vision. If you are single, as a government employee, you're probably going to pay between $100 and $200 a month for your insurance. Now, if you have a family, if you have multiple dependents, this could be a lot more. Me personally, I came out of the military, I still use TRICARE. So I didn't even accept any of the government insurance options that are available. For me, TRICARE makes a lot more financial sense because it is a lot cheaper than the insurance that you can get through the government. Number 6 is education. With education, a lot of federal agencies will give you access to LinkedIn Learning. And there's like 1,000 classes on there. You can get certificates in whatever skill that interests you. You can add those to your resume, so it's a great thing. They will also consider paying for certain certificates that you're getting at like a community college or at the local university. They might pay for that if the certification is relevant to your job. Same thing with a college degree. Some people have their master's degree covered by their federal agency. Other people have a certain amount that they can spend every year. So in one agency, I heard that each employee was entitled to $4,000 to spend on training every year. And if you didn't use it for that particular year, then it would roll over to the next year. There are certain incentive programs where the agency will pay off up to $10,000 a year for 4 years. So essentially $40,000 they could pay on your current student debt. Number 5 is sick leave. Okay, so this doesn't sound like much at first, but once you start to think about it, you realize the enormous benefit that this can truly be. Every pay period, you get 4 hours. But the thing about this is, this stacks on top of each other. It never expires. So if you're in the government for 20, 30, 40 years, you can just keep stacking. All of these hours, they roll over to the next year. So the first year, you're probably going to have 12 days off, right? The next year, you have another 12 days. If you're the type of person that does not use their sick leave, instead maybe you use your paid time off or you just come to work sick, whatever you do, there are people that are saving weeks and months of sick leave. So why would they save it? Because this sick leave can be applied to your retirement. It can enable you to retire early. So in one scenario, let's say you work for the government for 29 years and you're after maybe 30-year pension. So you want to stay for 30 years to get a bigger pension. At year 29, you can use all your sick leave and retire a year early. So that's one of the benefits. I don't think any other company or organization will actually give you sick leave that rolls over year after year to infinity. There's also a lot of different areas that you can use your sick leave. It doesn't just have to be you. You don't have to be the one that's sick. If someone in your family is sick, if you have to take someone to a medical appointment, these are all good reasons to use sick leave. Now, talking about leave, when it comes to paternity leave, that's currently at 12 weeks paid time off. Number 4 is job security. A lot of people out there, they feel that a government job is the one job that is truly recession-proof. No matter how bad the economy gets, your job is usually pretty secure. Now, sure, rifts do happen, reduction in forces, they happen periodically, but if you undergo a rift, you are considered a displaced employee. So you have preference when it comes to getting another government job. So there's a lot of positions out there, like a realtor or a financial advisor, where you're kind of at the mercy of the economy. If the housing market isn't doing well, what are you doing as a realtor? You're not making money. Your salary is directly dependent on economic conditions. With a government job, that's not the case. I'm in the DC area, and in this area, usually you have two types of people. You either have somebody who works for the federal government as a government employee, or you have a contractor. Usually it's a defense contractor. The thing with contractors, they get a pretty good salary, they get decent benefits, but they have to worry about their contract expiring. Whether that happens after 2, 3, 4 years, no matter how long they were with that company, it is still always in the back of their mind. Will this contract get renewed? And if it doesn't, what am I going to do? Number 3 is work-life balance and days off. Simply put, you can have a life. You can have a full-blown life and also hold a government job. You don't have to worry about putting 60, 70 hours a week, not getting paid appropriately for overtime. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff because The majority of government employees, they do their 40 hours, then they can flip that light switch, and then they can spend time with their friends and family. You have time to pursue other hobbies. Maybe you want a second job. Maybe you want to start a business. You can do things like that when you only have to spend 8 hours at work, and then you have the rest of the time that you can spend on other activities. Also, there are 11 paid holidays, and a lot of agencies, they'll give you Christmas Eve off as well. So that's 12 days. 12 additional days, and then you have your paid time off, and then you have your sick leave. All of that stuff, it goes and it strengthens the work-life balance you'll experience in a government job. Number 2 is a matching TSP. It's kind of like a 401k. You might be wondering, why do I have this ranked so high on this list? And the main reason is the TSP is the reason that federal government employees can become millionaires. This year alone, there were 88,000 federal employees or government employees that were millionaires due to investing in the TSP. The government offers roughly a 5% match on whatever money you put in there. So let's just say you make $100,000 a year. 5% of that's $5,000. So you invest $5,000 in a year. The government comes with its own money and it matches your $5,000. So you're essentially getting free money. It is optional, but for the people who take advantage of this, it's a great deal. Also, you have to consider that you have to be 59 and a half before you can withdraw the money. If you withdraw the money before you're 59 and a half, there's a 10% penalty. Now, if you're interested in getting a federal government job, one thing that can give you an edge is by attending federal hiring events. These can be virtual. It doesn't matter where you're at in the country. You just have to register for the event, sign on, and then you can potentially talk to a human resource specialist. You can even talk to a hiring manager in some cases. So USAjobs.gov has a section where they have all of their hiring events. The problem with this is not every federal agency reports their event to USAjobs.gov. So what I started doing is I started going to the agency's webpage and I pull that information out and I'll send it to you once a month. Completely free. All you have to do is register for the newsletter. You can sign up by clicking the link in the description below. All right, so number 1 is the federal pension. This is the golden egg right here. This is a wonderful sense of security, an extra layer of financial security that you will be getting money for the rest of your life. Now, how much money are you going to get? It's going to depend. How long are you in the government? It could end up being $300-$400 a month. It could end up being $3,000-$4,000 a month. It will depend on your salary for your 3 highest years in the government and how many years do you have of government service. Here's the formula right here. You take your high 3 salary, times it by years of service, and times it by 1%. Or it could be 1.1% if you stay long enough. So ideally, the way that the retirement system is envisioned is you have your 3 components. You have your TSP, you have your pension, you have Social Security. And when you combine all 3 of those components, it will provide you financial stability in retirement. And not many companies are doing this. Not many places that you can work for will provide you a guaranteed pension for the rest of your life. All right, so if you would like to learn more about the federal hiring process on how to get a government job, I did a live stream recently where I answered over a dozen questions. If you're interested in that, I want you to watch this video next. If you would like to see more videos like this, please click like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.